Hey guys, it's Brickman117. Welcome back to the channel and my review of the Mega Construx Halo set FVK36 Forgehog versus Banished Goliath. It's got 654 pieces and the set consists of one Forgehog, one Banished Goliath, one UNSC Marine and one Sergeant Forge. Weapons wise, it comes with one SMG and one shotgun. Once again, hats off to the design team at Mega for the box art. They've done a great job of depicting the Forgehog going toe to toe with the Banished Goliath. So a good start to review. They've done a great job with the box. Let's open it up and see how it goes from there. As you can see, unfortunately this set did not come with numbered bags, and after building the Frostraven a few weeks back that did come with numbered bags, it was a little bit disappointing, especially considering that this set is from the same range as the Frostraven, so clearly they were in the process of still producing the numbered bag system. You can see that it also comes with two instruction manuals, one is for the Forgehog and one is for the Goliath. Even though this set comes with less than half the pieces that the Frostraven came with, it was still a bit of a chore after the Frostraven, having to go back to sorting out 600 odd pieces before I could start building. And with that in mind, here's a quick look at the build. If you'd like to watch that speed build at a much more sensible speed, you can visit my channel and find that video in the speed build playlist. My overall opinion of this set is definitely a mixed one. There are a number of things that I was pleasantly surprised about, but unfortunately there are some things that not so good with the set, unfortunately. The main reason I bought this set was because it can connect to the Frostraven, which I reviewed a couple of weeks ago, and I just like having sets that connect together and you can play with together. One of the two big surprises for me with this set is the Goliath. It was so enjoyable to build. I wasn't really that fussed about it. I bought this set for the Forgehog and the Goliath just came with it. But the actual build process is almost as long as the Hog itself, and it is easily as good a build as the Warthog, I would say. So really pleased that they've done something different and so enjoyable. It takes 281 pieces to put the Goliath together, and it's a very clever build. They've done a really good job and the end result just looks amazing. In terms of usability or playability, all of those ball joints have got just the right amount of clutch power. You can pose this guy in pretty much any position you can think of. As long as you've got something to anchor at least one of his legs down to, there's no ends as to how you can pose this guy. The second big surprise for me with this set was the Warthog, and the reason I was so surprised about it was because from the pictures it's just another Warthog. As I say, I bought it to go with the Frostraven, not because I was short of Warthogs, and to be honest with you, I didn't really need another Warthog, but the actual build process of this Warthog is completely different to all of the original Warthogs. They've really reinvented the way that you put this thing together, and it's really good. It's a real build. It's so enjoyable putting it together, and the detail is really good. As you can see, you get two printed pieces in the cockpit for the controls of the Warthog, and you also get a shifter or a speed control, I'm not sure what it is. And on this Warthog, you even make the seats, which I think is a first, but I've not got all of the Warthogs, so I'm not 100%. The Gauss cannon on the back is a projectile shooter, and I think they've done a really good job of concealing that in. It's not sacrificed the overall look of the weapon, it still looks really good. And you've got full articulation on the Gauss cannon as well. You can pretty much point it any direction that you want. It also comes with this small drone stowed to the side of the Hog, which you can insert on the back of the Hog with this clear plastic rod, which is a nice little feature to add on, give it some extra firepower. Before I get into the what's not so good about this set, I just want to say for the record that I am very pleased with this set, and what I'm about to say is more a case of slight niggles rather than a reason not to buy this set. The first issue I have is the doors. There's a number of reasons that they cause problems. As you can see, there's next to no clutch power at all between the joints, so they're just really floppy, and they flop down and up, and they just don't feel like good quality, and they don't really stay where you put them. The second issue I have with the doors is when you've got Forge in the cockpit, the door doesn't really want to close. It hits his arm. Maybe I've not got him in properly. I've had a good go at it, but it just doesn't seem to want to close when Forge or any other characters are in the cockpit. And the final issue for me, now this is just a personal one, and I'm sure there'll be lots of people disagree with me here, but I actually just prefer the Forgehog without the doors on. So as you can see, I've taken them off because I'll probably just leave it without the doors on because they are a bit of a faff, and I think it looks better without. Moving on from the doors brings me to my next little niggle, which strangely enough involves Sergeant Forge again. I haven't shown you the figure yet, but you can see here that Sergeant Forge comes with a small leg or thigh bag that's strapped to his leg instead of a piece of armour on his right leg. Now, when you try to put Forge in the hog, it seems to blow out the side of the hog. He's just too wide for it, unfortunately, so you can kind of get him in there, but it pops the side of the hog off, and then you have to push it back on again, which moves him in his seat again. So it's not the end of the world, but it is slightly annoying. The final issue for me with the set is the suspension, or lack of, shall I say. If you look back at the original Warthogs, there was nothing in regards to suspension. It just flopped around all over the place. And then when they brought out the NMPD Warthog, they redesigned the suspension, which was a kind of sprung-loaded arm. So as you push down on the hog, it actually sprung back up. They've changed the design again, and this time there's no resistance whatsoever. It almost works in reverse. It takes no weight off the hog at all. It just sits down on its axles. For me, this is a step in the wrong direction. Again, just a personal preference, but I think that the previous design of suspension was a better one for me personally. Moving on to the minifigures, first up we have Sergeant Forge. Now, I know many people have mentioned that it doesn't look a lot like Sergeant Forge, which is fair enough. I'm not going to disagree with that. But what I will say is the detail on this minifig is absolutely incredible. It's one of the best I've seen. The paintwork is absolutely incredible, and the detail on his face, even if he doesn't look like Forge, is absolutely amazing, down to the wrinkles on his forehead, the eyebrows, the facial hair. It is so clinical. It's amazing for the size of this figure. Even the paintwork of the Ace of Spades card on his shoulder armor is just so small you almost need a magnifying glass to see it, but it's there and it looks absolutely incredible. So although it would have been nice for him to look a bit more like Forge, I'm so happy with this figure that I'm prepared to let it slide. Moving on to the Marine, we have yet another great figure. He's not quite the showstopper that Forge is, in my opinion, but then you wouldn't expect that as he is the hero figure of the pack. The Marine is by no means a disappointment. In regards to the weapons in the pack, they were pretty standard, a UNSC shotgun and an SMG. To finalise the review, I'm going to add the Forgehog and the Goliath to my Arctic Field Base mock. Overall, I'm not disappointed with this set at all. Yes, it has its issues, but aside from those issues, it's a great set with some really good new building techniques. So I have absolutely no regrets about buying it, and I had a great time building it. So I hope you enjoyed watching this review, and I hope you hang around to see the diorama. And as always, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. you.